Oh, what's up, guys? Let me mute the TV. So I recently got a question, how I do my top string on my nemmies. It's pretty simple. It's a standard top string. Both of these have the same top string, but I'm going to show it to you on the blue one just because for color contrast, it's easier than showing with the white. But as I said, they're both, exactly the same. As you see, I kind of I start with a 20 diamond standard top because it's 20 diamond mesh. I wasn't gonna do like the equivalent of a 9 diamond top because then I'd probably have to triangle top it. And I just think this looks cleaner, so that's why I do it that way. Basically, how I start it, you see on the back, I did the goalie version of the Mundorf top string, how he kind of anchors the mesh right here. I go through the mesh, or through the hole in the side, then through the mesh. Let's see. Yeah. So I go through the mesh, come around the side of the plastic, um, and then go back through the hole, and then I believe this one. Yeah, I come back through after going through the plastic. I come back through that same hole, and then go right up through and start the sidewall or the top string in that next diamond hole. Put one through, like if you're doing just a single top string, and then as you come back, you put it through that little loop right here. You put it through that little loop, and then you start the next loop of this, like how it goes two through that same hole. You go through another diamond hole across, and then obviously you throw it through that little loop, pull it tight. Then I skip a diamond hole, and then I do the same thing, going through two of the diamond holes. Same standard top string, and then instead of skipping, I go through the next two, and then I skip. To keep it centered, I do the same thing I would do on this, but instead I just go both times through the head, go through the same mesh hole, and then I skip. Then it's another two mesh holes on that same right here, then two mesh holes, and then I skip, two mesh holes, and then same thing as I started with on the other side. So it comes out real nice and clean. Someone said it does look a little bunchy up top, but I mean, you got like 6 holes across and 20 mesh holes. Somewhere along the line, it's gonna probably bunch. I mean, it's part of it. I mean, it's not like there's 20 holes for 20 mesh holes. It's gonna happen. So hopefully this helps. Again, the Mundorf kind of anchoring. So that's how I start it, and then just kind of follow the holes. What I did to find the center is find the center of the mesh. A little tip would be I counted in 10 holes each side to find the middle, and then to hold the middle where it was while I was figuring out where I wanted to do all the strings, is I just put a little temporary string through there, kind of tied a quick little, like you would tie your shoe, how you just pull the string and it's out. So when I got to that middle line or middle hole, I just pull that, undo it, and then put the mesh through again. So that helped keep it centered and give it that nice little, hardly little channel. So just keep it centered. Everything should be good. You're more than welcome to use my top string. I'll even give you the pattern if you want. Basically what I did. Technically, I don't think there would be any interlocks on this. If you look closely here, I kind of go through the mesh and then back up through that same hole after I go through the head. And like down here you can really tell. See, none of those are really interlocked. The mesh is just anchored straight to the sidewall. So it just looks almost as if you took one straight line of string and just went straight. So, I mean, I don't know if that technically doesn't go by the rules, but right here is kind of interesting because instead of like skipping the center hole, I just more or less went through all three. And by doing that, I mean, it still has almost the same effect as like a double. I was going to do a triple, but I wanted a nice smooth release. And I mean, you can see as my hand's running here, the mesh, it catches a little bit, which is okay with me. I like that little bit of whip. But otherwise it's nice and smooth, you know, you don't have to worry about much. But same thing with this one. Same channel, everything's pretty much exactly the same on this, except for I went with white instead of except for, you know, it's a Nemmy light rather than, you know, the standard Nemesis, and it's all white rather than white and blue. So that's really all the only differences between my starter and my backup. So hopefully this will help. Thanks. And if you do need any help stringing, just contact me, PM me on here, or you can go on my Facebook page, madlaxer12283's and sales. Madlaxer12283's all one word, and then space and sales, and sales is two separate words too. But for madlaxer12283's, I just did it one word. So hopefully you guys watch this and it helped. All right, see you guys later.